The attack on free speech is underway, and now Telegram's CEO, who was wrongly arrested in France on false pretenses, finally breaks his silence and speaks out in this sham case. We're uncovering this and so much more here on Beyond the Headlines, only on Vigilant News. This segment is sponsored by Lean, the only weight loss supplement for serious dieters who want to lose 10 pounds or more. Pick up a bottle at leanvnn.com. I'm Elijah Schaefer. Let's start the show. Well, our top story today involves censorship. Yes, not just the American regime is at it, but the world globo homo regime. And I call it that because you see, it's all united and they are trying to enforce what on us? We're trying to force homosexuality on our children and shut us up. Well, now the Telegram CEO, Durov, breaks his silence after being arrested in France by Macron's regime. Telegram CEO Pavel Durov has broken his silence after being arrested in France by President Emmanuel Macron's globalist regime. Durov was arrested last week by French police upon arriving in the country on a private jet. Now, according to French prosecutors, Durov is complicit in a variety of criminal activities, which includes enabling drug trafficking and child pornography for hosting a social media platform. However, the real reason Durov arrests lies in the fact that just like ex-owner Elon Musk, he refuses to comply with censorship demands by Europe's leftist governments. After being charged by prosecutors, Durov has since been released on a massive £5 million, which he was easily able to pay due to his billionaire status. Durov is now breaking his silence on the arrest with a detailed response on his personal Telegram channel, mainly focusing on how the French state is trying to blame him for the criminal activities of others. Thanks everyone, he said, for your support and love. Last month, I got interviewed by police for 4 days after arriving in Paris. I was told I may be personally responsible for other people's illegal use of Telegram because the French authorities didn't receive responses from Telegram. This was surprising for several reasons. Number one, Telegram has an official representative in the EU that accepts and replies to EU requests. Its email address has been publicly available for anyone in the EU who Googles Telegram EU address for law enforcement. Now, number two, the French authorities had numerous ways to reach me to request assistance. As a French citizen, I was a frequent guest at the French consulate in Dubai. A while ago, when asked, I personally helped them establish a hotline with Telegram to deal with the threat of terrorism in France. If a country is unhappy with an internet service, the establishment practice is to start a legal action against the service itself, using laws from the pre-smartphone era to charge a CEO with crimes committed by third parties on the platform he manages is a misguided approach. Building technology is hard enough as it is. No innovator will ever build new tools if they know they can be personally held responsible for potential abuse of these tools. Establishing the right balance between privacy and security is not easy. You have to reconcile privacy laws with the law enforcement requirements and local laws with EU laws. You have to take into account technological limitations. As a platform, you want your processes to be consistent globally, while also ensuring that they are not abused in countries with weak rule of law. We've been committed to engaging with regulators to find the right balance. Yes, we stand by our principles. Our experience is shaped by our mission to protect our users in authoritarian regimes, but we've always been open to dialogue. Sometimes we can't agree with a country's regulator on the right balance between privacy and security. In those cases, we are ready to leave the country. We've done it many times. When Russia demanded that we hand over encryption keys to enable surveillance, we refused, and Telegram got banned in Russia. When Iran demanded that we block channels of peaceful protesters, we refused, and Telegram got banned in Iran. We are prepared to leave markets that aren't compatible with our principles because we are not doing this for money. We are driven by the intention to bring good and defend the basic rights of people, particularly in places where these rights are violated. All of that does not mean that Telegram is perfect. Even the fact that authorities could be confused by where to send requests is something that we should improve. But the claims in some media that Telegram is some sort of archaic paradise are absolutely untrue. We take down millions of harmful posts and channels every day. We publish daily transparency reports, and we have direct hotlines with NGOs to process urgent moderation requests faster. However, we hear voices saying that it is not enough. Telegram's abrupt increase in user count to 950 million caused growing pains that made it easier for criminals to abuse our platform. That's why I made it my personal goal to ensure that we significantly improve things in this regard. We've already started the process internally, and I will share more details on our progress with you very soon. I hope that events of August will result in making Telegram and the social networking industry a whole lot safer and stronger. Thanks again for your love and memes. Last week, the Wall Street Journal reported that Durov had rejected an offer from Macron back in 2018 to move the Telegram headquarters to Paris Fast forward 6 years, and he is now a political prisoner. Now, we've seen this time and time again, this push for censorship. Here's one example. Listen to Kamala Harris talk and flirt about the idea of pressuring social media platforms.
There has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation.
You dumb bitch.
You dumb bitch. Tell me you never read the U.S. Constitution.
Wow. All right. I didn't forgot it said that. My bad for the cursing there. But I mean, do I agree with that? We'll let the viewers decide. Now, many of you know you've been trying to lose weight fast. You've been seeing your friends and celebrities losing weight quickly with these new miracle drugs. The only downside to them is, yeah, I mean, they do make you lose weight quickly, but they require to inject yourself with needles. On top of that, it's not just needles. They also have terrible side effects. And, well, when you kind of get off them, they stop working. What if I were to tell you that doctors out there wanted to find a similar way to control your blood sugar and regulate your appetite in a way that didn't require needles and didn't have side effects? Well, that's why they invented Lean. It's an easy weight loss supplement. And the main downside of it isn't side effects. It's that you actually lose a lot of weight. So we only recommend it for people who want to lose 10 pounds or more. If you want to lose 10 pounds or more, that sounds like something that you need and you've been having a hard time losing weight, go ahead and pick up a bottle of Lean or two at leanvnn.com. That's leanvnn.com. Or you could just stay your same weight, which we support, and that's fine. But if you're trying to get healthy, use my code VNN at checkout to get 15% off plus free rush shipping. You should get a bottle to lose weight today at leanvnn.com. Now, as I mentioned, RFK Jr. said that, even our government has been trying tirelessly to begin to create portals to censor Americans. Listen.
37 hours after he took the oath of office, President Biden's White House opened up a portal for the FBI to begin to have access to social media posts on all the different social media sites. And the FBI then invited in the CIA, the DHS, the IRS, and CISA. CISA is this new agency that is the center of the censorship industrial complex that is in charge of making sure Americans don't hear things that their government doesn't want them to hear. And those agencies and other agencies, including the health agencies like CDC, were given access to go into the social media sites and change posts and slow walk things and shadow ban posts. That it was part of that effort. They removed my Instagram account. I had almost 1 million followers. They say it was for misinformation, but they could not point to a single post that I ever made that was factually erroneous. And they actually, Facebook pushed back in the email chain. You can see Facebook pushing back at the White House and saying, well, wait a minute, he's not, this isn't misinformation. This is not factually erroneous. What they're saying is actually true. And they had to invent a new word, which is called malinformation, which is information that is factually true, but nevertheless inconvenient for the government. And that became disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation. That's what that is. So everybody, and
isn't that illegal? That's illegal.
Yeah, and the emails show that Facebook, the people said they were saying about the White House in their private emails with each other. These people are cynical, terrible people, and they knew what they were doing was breaking the law, but they were under tremendous pressure. I mean, Facebook has all these deals with the government, and as do all the media companies with the intelligence agencies and elsewhere. Plus, the White House was overtly telling them that they were going to, if they didn't comply, that their Section 230 immunity was in jeopardy.
Yeah, so the Section 230 was in jeopardy, which is a total manipulation. It's sort of coercion, right? This is government trying to force someone to censor on behalf of screwing over their company. It's kind of like if I said, hey, why don't you do something against your principles? And you're like, well, you can't make me do it. And it's like, well, I'm going to stick the IRS on you and then audit your documents, then find discrepancies and then charge you maximum penalties and then jail you. You'd be like, okay, fine, I'll just do it. The government's coercing private companies to do its dirty censorship work for it. And when it can't, it then tries to force foreign countries like Macron, which we found out the FBI was involved in this, to arrest their leaders, not because they're committing crimes, but because the governments don't have control. It's a very dirty, dirty practice. I really hate the way the world works, but unfortunately, it does work this way. Now, if you liked this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. But if you want to help us fight against censorship that we're dealing with, make sure that you sign up for our newsletter to get videos like this direct to your inbox at vigilantnews.com. You can also find us on Rumble and on X under our name, Vigilant News. Have a great rest of the week, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.